Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we're going to be talking about Demon Slayer Season 3, Episode 8. We start with Miss Tashiro Morichiro. If I'm butchering his name, I apologize in advance. It is 11:30 when I am filming this, because I spent all day doing things. Yay for me. Anyway, we get to Miss Tashiro. He is out of the pot. He is out of the pot. He is poisoned. He is beat up. Bad things are happening. He is numb. He's taking the needles as kind of a backup plan. Kotetsu is on the ground. Looks like he's probably dead. And then we have more fish demons coming after him. Of course, there's always another fish, as Qui-Gon Jinn said. However, in the process of coming near death, the Miss Tashiro is remembering his past. He remembers all of these upbeat sayings he had. He remembers his father being, very pleasant. They cut wood. Basically, they chopped down trees, made wood smaller, sold it. That's what they did. They were wood merchants, similar to Tanjiro, where he was a charcoal merchant, where, they still were probably cutting down wood and making charcoal with that wood as opposed to just, selling the wood itself. So his mother's very sick. Unfortunately, she's burning up. She's on the verge of death. His father is trying to get herbs to heal his mother. And at the ripe old age of 11, on the same day, he lost not just his mother, but his father too, because his father wanted to help his mother, which makes sense. You want to help the ones you love, trying to get herbs to bring down her fever. And in the rain, he slipped off of a cliff. The rock gave way. And then he remembers he also had a brother called Enrichiro. So there was Morichiro and Enrichiro, if I'm pronouncing the names correctly. And his brother is not as compassionate as he is. He basically blames his father for leaving them in this situation because his father was perfectly healthy, and if his father wasn't stupid and didn't go get herbs in the middle of a rainstorm, they only would have lost one parent that day as opposed to two. So he has gotten bitter and angry about the deaths, where Morichiro, on the other hand, basically is trying to be more positive, more optimistic, still trying to be in a good attitude, in a good spirit. And when he loses his memory, he essentially becomes his twin brother. He basically do everything for yourself, don't care about other people. I have this one job, this one thing to do, and I'm just going to keep doing it. And, who cares about anybody else or anything else around me? He essentially became his twin brother in the process. They were constantly fighting all of the time. They were still getting wood. And then the wife of the master of the Butterfly Mansion came up to their village looking for them. She talked about how they were the descendants of this great sword master, and he basically explained demons to them, and being that both of their parents have died, they really have no reason to stay in this area anymore. Asked them if they wanted to become demon slayers. And she came back a couple of times asking, but his brother, being Morichiro being more optimistic, talking about, oh, let's go do this, let's become swords, basically become demon slayers, do the training. And then Enrichiro was like, no, we're not doing that, screamed at him at the top of his lungs, we can't do anything, we're young, we're 10, 11 years old here, and I'm sick of you doing this. The only reason that this woman wants us to train is because we're going to end up fighting, we're going to end up dying, and I'd rather live longer here doing woodwork with my life and meaning nothing at all, as opposed to going and fighting demons and dying, and then my life meaning nothing at all. And they didn't talk for a long time after this. He's like, we're not going to die in vain like dogs. Meanwhile, they're just doing woods, cutting up trees, things along those lines. They have a really hot summer day, and unfortunately, a random demon shows up, and basically he's like, crap, just a couple of brats. So he was looking for, an adult, a better meal, but unfortunately he is not going to be getting that, just a couple of kids, and instantly cuts off Morichiro's brother's arm, and he's bleeding out. Goes in the corner, and he was like, both of your lives are worthless, who's going to care about a couple of kids cutting wood? No one cares about you, I'm going to eat both of you. And then Morichiro just yelled out, like a powerful, triumphant roar. He got extremely angry because his brother's really the only thing that is left, and he kind of blacked out. And he beat the living crap out of this demon. He couldn't kill the demon, smashed his head in with a rock, cut him up, basically drilled wood stakes into him, into the ground, and he doesn't remember doing any of it. And then he realized he couldn't kill this demon. However, when the sun came up, as we all know, the sun kills demons, and the demon did finally die. So he was able to kill this demon, and he's good to go. His brother is barely hanging on. He somehow managed to live through the night with his arm cut off. I'm surprised he didn't die sooner. But, you can see in this image, there's a giant bloody mess. And he's praying to God to save his brother. In his last moments, he was like, I'm sorry, I am the way I am. My brother is more optimistic, he's more caring, he wants to help people. Please, whatever you do, save my brother. And we learn at the end of the episode that the MU, so the Mu in Morichiro, actually stands for infinity. At this point in time, a mark then appears on his face, similar to the mark that Tanjiro recently got on his forehead. That's actually covering his scar, and it seems like all the poison in his body just kind of left. I'm assuming the mark is some sort of power-up. We learned that that old swordsman also had that mark as well that we saw in the past, so I'm assuming it's some crazy power-up boost or something. I'm not, really sure how all of that's going to pan out, but that's my guess, at the very least. Gotetsu, I'm not really sure if he's going to make it, but he was like, basically, go save Mr. Nezuko, if I'm saying the name correct. Basically the swordsmith that's working on him. And the upper rank 5 has definitely been working on him. He slashed him, he destroyed one of his eyes, but he is not caring. He is still going after it. However, he notices the mark on Mr. Ashira's cheeks, and he doesn't really think anything of it. He was like, never mind that. I wasn't even focused on him because I was so focused on making this swordsmith stop doing what he was doing that he wasn't focused on the Mr. Ashira at all. And he got all giddy because he was so focused on doing something that he was so concentrated on it that he completely ignored the fact that he didn't kill the Mr. Ashira. Yes, he poisoned him. Yes, he trapped him in a vase to die, but he was able to escape. And, he shoots this giant octopus thing out of a pot, and, he gets everybody out of there. Mr. Ashira is safe, cuts through all of these octopus arms, and then he's like, I really wasn't trying earlier. It was, like, too easy for me. And then, Muchiro is like, yep, well, guess what? It was too easy for me, too. He's got a new sword. And then as a flashback to his original swordsmith, where, because after his brother died, he pretty much blacked out and lost his memory, and essentially took on the personality of his brother, is what happened after his brother passed away. Obviously something that horrible happens to you, you're going to block the majority of it out of your mind. And the old swordsmith was like, I'm not going to fight dying, I'm old, it is what it is. But, you have, basically, he has no breathing room, he's fighting so hard he's throwing up. He doesn't have a memory. He's been vomiting blood. And he's worried about him, and basically he's like, you're kind of running through life with no purpose but for yourself, not thinking about anything, just kill demon, kill demon, kill demon. And he's basically, Mr. Ashira is apologetic to him. He's like, I am sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry, I got my memory back, and now I'm good to go. And this is, basically his journey of getting his memory back and fighting the upper rank 5. He does manage to cut his neck a little bit, not a lot. He's covering it up with a couple of his baby hands going off of his face. And then we learn at the end of this that Morichiro, the Mu, as I already mentioned previously, means infinity. So he is going to have infinity strength, and we kind of end with him attacking the upper rank 5. And that's kind of where the episode ends. I think he is going to be able to defeat the upper rank 5 by himself. Where this girl is baffles me. We saw her running towards the fight like 4 or 5 episodes ago, and have not seen her since. Yes, she saved the headmaster, the head of the village, but we have no idea where she is. Maybe at this point she's just guarding him because she's afraid that somebody else is going to come, and maybe she won't have any significance in the rest of this season. We're on episode 8. I think we only have 3 episodes left, to my knowledge. So there's really nothing else I think is going to happen. The next episode is also called, basically it's like named after the Mist Hashira. So it's probably just going to be him fighting upper rank 5 by himself, or maybe the Love Hashira will come and help him out. I really don't know what's going to happen there. That's my guess. It's either just going to be a full episode of awesome fighting, awesome animations, or it's just, going to kind of peter out. We actually learned that it's her birthday, too. After we get the credits here at the end. I'm always forgetting her name, too. Let's go past the ending here. We got to go all the way to the end. So happy birthday, Mitsuri. Yup. So the prize is she can eat as much as she wants. And she's like, oh, I can have seconds, right? And she's at this huge table of food. Apparently, she also likes Western food. So Tanjiro made her some Western food. She gobbled it up in like half of a second. And who knows. But next episode is Mist Hashira Muchiro Tokito, if I'm probably butchering the name. But 8 out of 10. We're going to give it, let's give this a 9 out of 10. This was a great episode. Learned some about his past. Got a lot more character development for the Mist Hashira. Excellent fighting. And it was just an overall excellent episode. And that's where we're going to end it. So thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. And as always, have a good one.